Happy 111 Bitcoin fam. That's right. We hit 11, 11, 11, 11. So you already know the God frequency in full effect. Congratulations, all Bitcoiners across the world. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis and quoting the double champ, Conor McGregor. First man to win 2 belts in the cage, first fighter to walk in as president, first president to put Bitcoin on Europe's balance sheet. Ireland wins. Europe watches. Let's make it happen. Ireland's strategic biddy reserve. Also, happy pizza day. Today was the infamous day, the 10,000 Bitcoin purchase for the 2 pizza pies, now valued at like $1.2 billion, the most expensive pizza in history. It was mind-boggling. Also, we'll be discussing Trump's crypto czar David Sachs says the Stablecoin Bill is going to pass. As well as big news yesterday, Texas House passed their strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. Another one bites the dust. Also, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF notches 2-week high as the inflows near to 112. In fact, we did literally touch 112 exactly as per the current top via Coinbase. We'll also be discussing billionaire Vivek Ramaswamy announces plans to acquire 75,000 Bitcoin under his new corporate entity. Also, we'll be discussing Bitcoin's path to 1.1 million, less than a 10x away. We'll also be taking a look at that overall crypto market sexiness. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. If you are new to the YouTube channel, it's very important. Smash the likes. Go ahead, subscribe, then ring the bell. Turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when I go live. Today is episode number 1999. I'm your host, JV. It's May 22nd, 2025. Yesterday, we re-entered price discovery, smashing 110,000, sexy bitty blackjack. And today, look at your screen. We're at 111,000, already touched upon 112,000. We're in price discovery, the most exciting time of the 4-year cycle, and we're in the thick of it right now. Kicking off today's show with our market watch, as we do each and every day. You can see preload biddy up 2.65% on the day. We have Ether in the green, the bulk of the entire market pumping, which is a beautiful sign. Checking out coinmarketcap.com. The crypto market cap back on the rise as well. It's currently at $3.5 trillion. This may be the all-time high. I don't really recall us ever being this high ever before. Correct me if I'm wrong. And checking out the Bitcoin market cap, 2.2 trillion for the win. Bitcoin dominance, 63.1%. Ether dominance, 9.1%. Checking out top 100. Crypto gainers past 24 hours. We have WorldCoin leading the pack, up 37%, followed by Zcash, up 18%, followed by Hyperliquid, up 17%. Let me know which alls, if any, you're bullish on for the bull. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the daily. Safe to say the bulk of the entire market doing pretty phenomenal. Fart coins up 11.1%. I mean, what are we going to do? But yeah, everything in the green, like I'd say 95% of the market on the daily. For the weekly, very similar situation. And zooming out for the monthly, virtually everything in the green. So if you're in crypto, you really can't be complaining right now. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're 72 greed. Yesterday is 70, last week is 70, and last month a 47, which is neutral. And checking out the infamous time chain calendar. We have 152,140 blocks until halving 2028. Currently on block number 897,860. And how many sats can you exchange or per dollar as of today's exchange rate? And once the time chain calendar refreshes, I'll be able to share the data. Wow, 900 sats per dollar, and it's the infamous pizza day, so it's congratulating us. Happy pizza day. Look at that, 900 sats per dollar. Soon it'll be less than 800 sats, 700, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And by the time it's 1 sat per dollar, we're talking about a $100 million biddy price action. So you know what to do, biddy broskies. Pick up the sats, put down the gas, and pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. And if you don't know, now you know. And we're going to transition into our TA, aka astrology for the baddies. And we'll also pull up the live charts as we do each and every day. But first, let's start with the headline right here. Bitcoin continues to rally to surpass 110,000 for the first time. That's right. We also hit 111,000 and even 112,000 as of today for the first time. So check it. Let me know if you were watching our live stream during that time. We did a pump watch for like 10 hours last night, and we did get to witness 111,000 live and in the flesh, which was pretty fantastic. So yeah, Bitcoin continues to do its thing, surging and hit new all-time highs. We're currently in price discovery. We may be above 112,000 sometime during today's live stream as well. Heck, we could be 115,000. There's no telling. The reality is Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. One of my favorite famous Max Kaiser quotes there. Bitcoin's new peak comes as U.S. stock markets were rattled by the 20-week year bond auction, which sent Treasury yields soaring yesterday, May 21st. The S&P 500 fell 80 points in a half hour, while the NASDAQ mirrored the move, with the U.S. indexes trading down on the day. CEO of Australian crypto exchange said that Bitcoin's new high reflects a mature interest in digital assets worldwide, not the speculative surge seen in the past cycles. Today's demand is driven by the institutional-grade infrastructure and stronger regulatory clarity. Investor sentiment has shifted decisively, reflecting institutional-style allocations. And according to the Google Trends, searches for Bitcoin have been trending down since November. Ironic, because we hit the 100,000 for the first time. I believe that was back in November, and we had a 30,000 rise up for that month, which is still to this date the most price appreciating month in Bitcoin of all time. But who knows? We may break it this month of May. And meanwhile, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index still pretty high, indicating greed. Edward Carroll, head of global markets over at MHC, shared the growing demand driving the price higher, and the medium term can push Bitcoin to at least 160,000 per coin by the fourth quarter, and even 1 million by 2030. And stay tuned, because I'm actually going to be sharing with you later my personal prediction of 1.1 million this cycle, along with some other major Bitcoin OGs who are thinking along the same lines, tapped into that God frequency, that 1111 energy. Meanwhile, leverage trader James Wynn, his Bitcoin long position on the crypto platform Hyperliquidity, has become the largest on-chain margin trade when it exceeded 1.1 billion amid Bitcoin's price peak. So somebody crushed it. The entry point was for a 40x leverage position, which was at 108, and it had an unrealized profit of 20 million. And it will be liquidated if Bitcoin price falls to 103. And clearly, we're still pumping. So I would assume that the position is still active. But if he did close it, he'd have pretty significant realized gain there. But with that being shared, also want to point out, shout out to the former double champ, Conor McGregor, the first double champ in UFC history. He tweeted this morning, first man to win 2 belts in the cage, the first fighter to walk in as president, first president to put Bitcoin on Europe's balance sheet. Ireland leads, Europe watches. And as you know, last week we covered in the pod, he's proposing for adopting a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the country of Ireland and running for presidency for the country of Ireland. And I dare say he's the most famous Irishman to ever come out of Ireland. Name another more famous individual from Ireland than Conor McGregor, and he is a big Bitcoin proponent. So I love to see that. I know I put some, I had to do his $1 billion strut right there, and then of course I put strategic Bitcoin reserve. Let's freaking go. How fantastic would that be for Ireland? We also have adoption coming out of Panama. Big announcements on the way at the conference, I would imagine, as the the mayor is going to be there with Max and Stacy. So a lot of exciting news in the markets all across the board. And pulling up some of the live charts, let's do a little live chart, Biddy Action Jackson satisfaction. Here, looking at a 1 hour chart. It shows us we do have a clear, decisive green bull scenario, bullish pennant formation sensation, sitting at $116,300, and that's in play. Right now, it's not too far from where we're at. We're practically a half a God candle away, and we've witnessed God candles, so you already know. And checking out the 4 hour, which is a 10-hour price action, by the way. On the 4 hour chart, we also have a bullish pennant. And we also have a very similar target in the green at 116, I believe. Yep, 116.3 bullish pennant. Very bullish chart as well. You can see all the bullish momentum. Sorry, bears, but go hibernate and do what you guys do best. And you can come back another time. And checking out the daily, as you can see here, we've had nothing but bullish momentum for the past 3 days, which is excellent. Past 6 weeks, I dare say, has been nothing short of bullishness. No particular targets on the daily chart for the bulls, but let's zoom it out a bit further and we'll scope out the weekly, which should still show that we have a rising wedge here, and we do have a target, which I believe is the 124. Bada boom, I bought a Bitcoin. Cup and handle target. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on our 7th green consecutive week which is very rare. So this is pure bullishness as we're on our next leg up, and we're currently in price discovery. And zooming out from there, and this is the moment we live for, broskies. And zooming out for the monthly, also very bullish month of May, surpassed the green candle already from the previous month of April, and most likely will just continue. This is the most bullish time of the cyclical cycle. And if you don't know, now you know. Next story of the day, we did the TA, right? Next up, next headline. Happy Pizza Day. First and foremost, let me read you the story. And here's a picture. Like, this is awesome, bro. 15 years ago today, Laszlo Hanieks spent 10,000 Bitcoin, which was known as the very first Bitcoin transaction of all time. At the time, it was worth $30 on 2 Papa John's pizzas. Here are the pizzas, and here's a picture with his kids. Today, 10,000 Bitcoin is worth $1.1 billion. You know what else is ironic? Remember when Max gave Alex Jones the opportunity to get 10,000 Bitcoin again more recently, about a year ago on the Alex Jones show? Alex Jones just fumbled the bag for $1.1 billion again, and all he had to do was answer 5 of the most simplest Bitcoin questions that any Bitcoiner would know, like, who is the creator of Bitcoin? Alex is like, don't hit me with these trick questions, Max, they're too difficult. But I just wanted to throw that out there because it's another 10,000 Bitcoin story. But happy Pizza Day. Well, this is kind of a big deal around here in Bitcoin. So let's dive a little deeper. And shout out Laszlo for having the balls to make that first Bitcoin transaction. I mean, because he could have hodled that and obviously created some generational wealth, to say the least. But yeah, we all know today as the infamous Bitcoin Pizza Day. No Diddy, just saying, and no Pizzagate, just saying. By surpassing Amazon in terms of market cap, which we did also do yesterday, Bitcoin attracted even more attention from the non-crypto audience. The latest rally will strengthen the confidence in Bitcoin. Thanks, Captain Obvious. In May, BlackRock became the second largest Bitcoin holder after Satoshi Nakamoto, and I believe they currently have over 600,000 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor's going on 600,000 Bitcoin, so they each have practically 3% of the Bitcoin supply, or I should say their companies. BlackRock, obviously, it belongs to the shareholders, and the same with Strategy B with the Giga Chad himself. But quoting the analyst here, Bitcoin has proven itself as a legitimate macro asset class, surpassing Amazon's market cap, is not only drawing massive attention. I believe right now, Bitcoin is the 5th largest asset in the world. There's only a handful of companies bigger, such as like Amazon, maybe Nvidia, Microsoft, etc. But help Bitcoin position itself alongside established market giants. That's right. Stan Lowe Operations Research over at Crypto Exchange shared the fundamental principles of Bitcoin and its underlying mechanisms have always been there and are still the same despite the asset's recent surpassing of the Amazon market cap. He said that he does not think that this has any implications in the crypto market. Were you blind? But according to the crypto market cap, we stood at the time of recording. It's now above 3.5 trillion. And while high, it's nearly, we haven't hit the all-time high. So the all-time high, which I would assume was back in January, was 3.7 trillion. So we're just shy, but we may pass that today or sometime this weekend. Data also showed that the ETFs drew in 604 million of inflows yesterday, and we will dive deeper into the ETF inflows. I'll save it for later. Quoting them here, we're moving gradually towards 200,000 per coin with gradual adjustments. I am sure that this year we'll see Bitcoin at 150 and 90,000. So I guess he's anticipating a correction there. Now, they also say short-term profit taken and the macro rate uncertainty are tempering the momentum, but below the surface metrics point to continued high conviction. You say that again. Happy 420 for the broskies. The foundation is more solid than any other cycle before it. That's a fact. And now into the more deeper into the infamous Pizza Day. What was once considered a highly speculative risk has evolved into a serious asset class. Exactly. Bitcoin boasts a market cap over 2 trillion. That's right. Ranking it as the 5th largest asset globally as of yesterday amongst publicly traded companies. And again, shout out Bitcoin OG Laszlo and happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. What a legend. And we all know Bitcoin goes up forever. So eventually we'll be like celebrating that 10,000 Bitcoin is $1 trillion, 2 pizzas. Only a matter of time. But there you have it, yo. And again, welcome everyone to the live stream. Happy Pizza Day. Get your pizza while it's hot. No Diddy and no Pizzagate. Next story of the day as we continue to climb with the bitty price action. All-time highs in play. We already tapped 112 in the day. Next story regarding the Stablecoin Bill. Mr. David Sachs, the crypto czar, says the stablecoin bill is going to pass. That's right. U.S. President Trump's top advisor on crypto and AI said the administration expects the stablecoin bill to clear the Senate with a bipartisan backing. Quoting him here from CNBC interview, "We have every expectation now that it is going to pass. The guiding and establishing national innovation for the U.S. stablecoin, which is better known as the Genius Act, is the most advanced federal effort yet to establish the legal framework for the dollar peg digital assets." Sachs said the bill could trigger trillions of dollars in demand for the U.S. Treasuries by unlocking stablecoin growth under the clear rules. Quoting him here, "We already have over 200 billion in the stablecoins. It's just unregulated. If we provide legal clarity, we create enormous demand for the Treasuries practically overnight, and the crowd's going wild." The stablecoin bill's progress comes despite controversies surrounding the Trump family crypto dealings. Critics have raised concerns that the administration benefits from the legislation, given its ties to World Liberty Financial, a crypto firm backed by Trump family members that recently launched their own stablecoin, USD1. So if you go to CoinMarketCap right now and type in USD1, I believe it's already in the top 40 or so cryptocurrencies in the world. So this was created by the Trump family members as a part of something they needed for their World Liberty Financial DeFi platform. So of course they're going to be very pro stablecoin with this stablecoin bill. Hence, most likely it'll be approved. The token is backed by the U.S. Treasuries and dollar deposits, and have received $2 billion investment commitment from Abu Dhabi's MGX fund via Binance. Sachs, I like the name Stacks better, but anyways, Sachs, who disclosed the sale of 200 million in crypto-related holdings. So he ultimately said, "I have 200 million worth of crypto." He declined to comment on whether the president or his family may financially gain from the bill's passage. Of course, you just use common sense. But that's okay. It's okay. Despite momentum, final passage is not guaranteed. Senator Josh Hawley, the ball's in your court. And in May 21st, yesterday, a post was titled "The Empire Lobbies Back." New York University professor said the U.S. banking industry is panicking over the rise of the yield-bearing stablecoins. I guess it could be a direct threat to the central banking cartels and their banking system, because who in their right mind would keep fiat at the bank when they're losing money due to the inflation, when they could be earning like a yield effortlessly? You know what I mean? Like maybe you get a 4 or 5% yield by keeping a stable coin on a particular platform, which seems what we're doing here. Campbell criticized the banking lobby for pressuring lawmakers to defend their interests, block the competition from the interest-paying stablecoins. So I can see why they're against it. He argued the banks rely on fractional reserve practices, which is a scam, by the way. It's a big Ponzi, to profit while offering low returns to depositors. And how that works is it's like you deposit hypothetically $1,000 and then they lend $10,000 based upon your $1,000, and they keep nothing at the bank, which ultimately means if there was ever a bank run, your FDIC so-called insurance is not going to get you anything because there's not enough money to pay out everybody. So hence they do their best to try to avoid that stuff. And we've seen the digital version of bank runs time and time again with the exchanges. Like we saw that with like FTX. We saw it with the regional banking crisis 2022 as well. Or was that 2023? I lose track of time. But nonetheless, we're here now in 2025, and it is what it is. Stablecoin bill coming, Genius Act. Cynthia Lummis, you already know. Bananas! Miss Yellen, JV, your hat looks cool. It's eating. The kids are saying it. Oh, I haven't heard the kids say it. My daughter hasn't used that one yet. She could be like, Papa, your hat's eating. I'm like, huh? My hat's hungry? Notice I'm rocking it looser. I like it loose. Instead of tight where I get like a big red spot there, I have it like a little looser. That's my swag. So yeah, of course my hat's eating. It's having supper right now. Of course. Headline here reads, check it. Texas House passes the strategic bitty bill. That's right. Texas House of Representatives passed the third reading of the SB 21, a bill that seeks to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve in the state. The bill passed in a 101-42 vote. It will now go to the Texas Governor Greg Abbott to either sign the law or veto. Let's go with the sign. We need the John Hancock brother. SB 21, authored by State Senator Charles Schwertner establishes a Bitcoin reserve that is managed by the state's comptroller. The legislation allows the comptroller to invest in any crypto with a market cap above 500 billion. And guess what? Bitcoin is the only qualifying crypto asset. Take that, evildoers. Before the vote, State Representative Giovanni, my paisano, said to the chamber, the bill was a pivotal movement in securing Texas's leadership in the digital age with the passage of our strategic BIDI reserve. Now we embrace the modern asset with traditional properties for future promise. The bill passed in Texas Senate in a 25-5 vote. March 6th. Texas's economy is the second largest of the U.S. with a gross domestic product of $2.7 trillion as of 2024, according to the KVUE. And if Texas were its own country, it would have the 8th largest economy in the world, hence why Texas, obviously, so significant. If Abbott signs SB 21 into law, Texas will be the second U.S. state to allow the creation of crypto reserve. As you know, the big news last week, New Hampshire became the first to do so, May 6th, after Governor Kelly signed House Bill 302 into law. Similar bills in the other states have faced resistance as of late. On May 13th, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs axed 2 crypto reserve bills. Damn you, Katie. On May 6th, 2 Florida strategic Bitcoin reserve bills were also taken off the table. What's going on, DeSantis? Hobbs wrote in the letter with her veto, currently volatility in crypto markets does not make it a prudent fit for the general fund dollars. So someone obviously doesn't understand Bitcoin, or they're just compromised by their handler, and I believe it's the latter. What are your thoughts? The risky nature of crypto investing was a factor in the decision of the Montana lawmakers to kill the possible digital asset reserve. According to the Bitcoin Law 47 Strategic Reserve Bill has been introduced now to 26 states. There are 13 active bills at the federal level as well. Greg Abbott expressed enthusiasm for crypto before and is expected to sign the bill into law. And in a social media post dated November 2024, Abbott praised Texas as the home of crypto mining, adding that it should become the crypto capital. So they'll most likely sign it then. Abbott reportedly accepted Bitcoin donations to campaign since 2014. Well, it sounds like a done deal. Texas, please stand up. Please stand up. Stacking the BIDI. So we have the state adoption happening in real time, the domino effect. So many states in the process adopting Bitcoin. And of course, from a national strategic level, we have the United States of America at the strategic Bitcoin bill that was executive ordered by the Trumpster. We have obviously Bitcoin country, the first country to do it, thanks to President Bukele, Bitcoin presidents. And obviously now we have Panama in the process discussing a strategic reserve bill. We have potentially Ireland, big proponent of McGregor, which we touched upon earlier. We have Abu Dhabi sovereign wealth funds already invested into Bitcoin, big money coming from the Middle East. We have Korea. North Korea's Lazarus Group allegedly holds roughly 200,000 of the Bitcoin, potentially more than the United States, considering 100,000 of the 200,000 allegedly that the states are holding really belongs to Bitfinex. So if you don't know now, you know. And global hash wars in full effect. Headline here reads, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF notches 2-week high inflow as Bitcoin nears 112,000. In fact, we did already tap 112,000 right before we started the live stream. So again, a new all-time high. Congratulations. BlackRock's IBIT has seen its largest inflow in the past 2 weeks as traders allocate to the US spot Bitcoin ETFs to scoop up the rocketing biddies. IBIT's May 21st net inflow was 530 million, its biggest single day net inflow since it took in 531 million May 5th, according to Farside. The ETF hasn't had an outflow since April 9th. In one day alone, IBIT accumulated over 10 times the amount of the biddy mined over the same time frame, with it scooping up 4,931 BTC against just 450 Bitcoin produced for the day. Can you say supply shock? Only a matter of time. IBIT also saw the largest volume day since January, according to the ETF tracker. Given trading volume today, expect these inflow numbers to increase, said Nate Gerasi. The total inflow figure for all 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs was 607 million, with the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund seeing the second most inflows for the day at 23.5 milli. Meanwhile, Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas called the ETF inflows a classic feeding frenzy caused by Bitcoin's recent price rally, which has seen it extend to nearly 112,000. No, in fact, we already hit 112,000. Price discovery in play. Balchunas added that the last time the ETF trading volume soared to the current level was in January, previous all-time highs, right? Around Bitcoin's then all-time high, and all the Bitcoin ETFs are elevated. Most are going to see 2x their average flows incoming. So it's going to eat up all that Bitcoin supply, yo, as the institutional FOMO like a mofo continues. The big ETF inflow in the volume day came as Bitcoin notched a new all-time high above 110, then 111, now then 112 as of today. Meanwhile, Jeff May, operations chief at the crypto exchange BTSE, noted investors are crowding into the BID ETFs, which saw 3.6 billion of net inflows for the month of May. Thus far, we believe this trend will continue as long companies continue to tap public markets for more capital. This could accelerate if the Fed decides to cut the interest rates in the coming months. So you already know, couldn't be more bullish right now. All right, now for our feature story of the day, we're going to discuss Bitcoin 10xing from here, hitting 1.1 million per coin. This cycle, potentially over the summer, anything is possible. Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. So first and foremost, I'm going to share my personal targets for this cycle, including this particular year. I believe 2025 will be the cycle peak. My bear scenario is 222,000. My base case is 420,000. Yes, I am 100% based for the broskies. Happy 420. Bull scenario, 1.1 million per coin. That's my personal thinking. Now, I also want to throw out there's some very prominent Bitcoin OGs to back it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. And again, welcome everyone joining us on today's live stream. This headline here, Bitcoin's path to 1.1 million will see 1 billion active wallets. According to Anthony Scaramucci, shout out to the Mooch. And he ultimately says by the time we have a billion active Bitcoin wallets, Bitcoin will be at 1.1 million per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. Now, also Binance founder CZ, who is the richest in crypto, at least on paper, his net worth is probably like 70 billion, just ballpark. It could be a lot more, a lot less, but that's according to Google. Hence, he was the richest person to ever go in a jail cell. That's right. When he had to pay that like 4.3 or whatever billion-dollar fine to the DOJ, he also had to serve like 3 or 4 months in jail or prison or whatever, making him the wealthiest to ever be behind bars, ironic enough. But he's been calling for Bitcoin to go up to 1 million this particular cycle. And of course, we also have the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. In a few pod episodes ago, we covered this. I'll just reiterate it. Max Kaiser predicts 2.2 million, which makes my bull scenario look like child's play. He went over the top with a double, 1.1 plus the 1.1 for the 2.2 in play. As Bitcoin is the ultimate safe haven asset, quoting your holiness, Max Kaiser, this slow motion train wreck, the pin popping of the global Ponzi scheme has taken 20 years to finally burst. The yen carry trade, look it up, has provided liquidity to keep 2 quadrillion worth of derivatives afloat and is now unwinding. It is the finale of the fourth turning, a bond global apocalypse ushering in Depression 2.0. The ultimate safe haven, Bitcoin, 2.2 million in play. But wait, there's more. Also, Bitcoin OG Adam Back predicts Bitcoin will hit between 500,000 and 1 million this cycle. We also have Samson Mao, founder of Jan3, helping with the international BIDI adoption, also suggesting Omega Candle 1 million in play this cycle this year. So let's touch upon some of these particular predictions a little deeper and let me know your thoughts. Do you think realistically we can do that? Also, I like to point out the stock to flow model suggests Bitcoin hovering above 500,000 per coin between this cycle and the next halving, a 2028 with 1 million also in play. So I'm not the only one. I'm not a lone wolf in suggesting Bitcoin can potentially hit 1.1 million this cycle. So let's start here with Adam, the prominent figure of the Bitcoin community and the CEO of the Blockstream, believes that the BIDI is significantly undervalued, and I agree with that, and can surge between 500,000 and 1 million during the current cycle, in which he shared in his interview. I'm thinking this cycle could get quite high. So I was thinking 500,000 to 1 million because there is a lot going on. That's right. There's a lot of macroeconomic factors. There's the institutional adoption. There's Bitcoin overtaking gold as a store of value with the gold market cap at 22 trillion. I mean, and now you have, entities like BlackRock accumulated 600,000 Bitcoin in less than a year and a half, 3% of the supply. You got Michael Saylor's company now has 3% of the supply. You have, the United States of America with the BIDI Strategic Reserve. You have the game theory. You have the other countries. You have El Salvador purchasing a Bitcoin per day. We have Panama coming aboard, potentially Ireland. and the list, goes on and on. But yeah, as you can see here, Adam Back, the OG, says 100,000 is way too cheap, and I couldn't agree more. Bitcoin gets between 500,000 and a million per coin this cycle. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And to put that into perspective, that's like a 5x minimalistic from where we're at right now. Could you imagine your net worth 5 to 10xing from here potentially this year? Let me know in that live chat, and let me know if you agree or disagree with him. And also touching upon CZ, this handsome Chinaman right here. The broader crypto market is headed for a sharp uptrend according to CZ. Potentially the richest man in crypto. Bitcoin can climb anywhere between 500,000 and a million this cycle, ultimately reiterating what Adam Back has put out there. And we can hit a market cap of 5 trillion by the end of the year. We're basically halfway there. Bitcoin as of today is 2.5 trillion. So total crypto market cap is currently like way higher than that. So if we were to double, we'd probably be closer to 6 or 7 trillion. But you guys let me know your thoughts on that. CZ similarly hinted at 100,000 Bitcoin price all the way back in 2020, referencing a hypothetical drop from 101 to 85. That prediction eventually played out with Bitcoin crossing 100,000 for the first time. December, was it not November? But correct me if I'm wrong. Bitcoin currently, as you know, doing its thing. We just tapped a brand new all-time high already this morning as we're currently in price discovery. But let me know if you agree, disagree. And then, of course, Scaramucci suggesting as the active users continue on their hockey stick, parabola, no different than the internet back in the 90s, and we hit that infamous 1 billion active addresses. Will be at 1.1 million. You already know that's a sexy bitty blackjack and virtually 10x from today's price action, quoting him here. Is Bitcoin an investment or is it an asset class? If it's an investment, then 1 to 3 trillion. That sort of makes sense. That's akin to the Magnificent 7 market cap. And again, Bitcoin already broke within those rankings, currently number 5 in the world. But if it is an asset class, it should trade closer to gold, which is 22 to 23 trillion. And you could run the math. Most likely when we surpass the gold market cap will be in the million or multiple 7-figure digit territory. And let me know your thoughts regarding Max Keiser, the High Priest, suggesting 2.2 million in play. And regarding my personal bull scenario of this cycle of 1.1 million, holla at your boy and welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream, tri-stream. History has been made. We hit 112,000 already today, and I'm checking now. Kepler, appreciate the super brother. He wrote, "You always cheer me up. Keep up the positive attitude. This gong strike is for you, my brother." And then we got one from PJR and from Debo. So I'm pretty confident we hit our goal. So thank you. We're going to extend the pump and do a pump watch all evening. And thanks to you guys. So I greatly appreciate all the support. This gong strike is for everyone who participated in making it happen. Thank you guys. A bada boom. We got a pump watch fairy tale. Let's get it.